Well, hello, hello, and welcome back, y'all. Today, I want to attempt to renovate a home that I did, I believe, back in September of 24 or right around then. It is titled 1970s House hyphen Momma-One. I don't know why I did that, but I did. Anyway, I don't mind how it looks. Did I actually do this one? And although the exterior doesn't look all that bad, I kind of like the exterior and I'll probably keep it. I might change the swatches a little bit, but I do like how it looks. I do feel it is mid-century style, but there are some tweaks that I need to do. As you see, all the beds are the same. It looks like the only differences are the carpets. I need to go in and I need to fix this. So I will go room by room so that you can see. But first, I want to try and spruce up the outside just a teeny bit. Okie dokie. I think I finished the outside and I really like it. I had so much fun. I turned this into what was originally a garage door, but this room here is actually a room and no longer a garage. But I left it as if it was a garage with the awning and, the garage door essentially. I changed this up here, took out the gravel. I put just gravel over here and lined it here and did some gravel. I changed out the trees a little bit because I didn't like the trees that were there. I did leave all the other landscaping and whatnot, and I did add some trellises and some climbing flowers as well here and took out those plants. I think this looks a little bit better. And then, oh, I do have a chimney. I didn't know that. And then back here in the backyard, I added some planter pots with a gardening table. And then over here on this side by the house, we've got some flowers. Flowers on this side as well with a bird feeder. All you have to do is fill her up and it is functional. You'll get birds all over. Kind of made this pergola thing here. This is the Leo's Labyrinth awning. And I flipped them around using the little dot key so that they would line up. Pushed them in together using the Alt key. And then I added these planter pot boxes from Businesses and Hobbies and put them on each corner with two picnic tables in the middle and a grill because in the 70s they like to entertain quite a lot. I also added some ceiling lights as well so that way there is light in the backyard. So yay. And then over here added the pool or whoops, moved the pool, excuse me, but I made it at an angle. I think it looks a little bit more, I don't know, weird 70s style. Added some floaties and a floating ball that does not work in live play. But I also have the diving board and a ladder. We've got some funky loungers over here with an umbrella that looks like it only gives shade to one person, but we'll say depending on the time of day, depends on if these two people get shade at the same time. That's up to them to decide. And then I've got two little drink trays there. I left the patio out back the way it was, but I also added these planter boxes here on the side instead of doing a railing. I like this idea much better. I think it looks cooler. And for being a 70s build, it makes sense. Put some rocks down here and then added some lavender and some bushes just to make it look, I don't know, functional, I suppose. And I was going to put like an outdoor shower over here for the pool people. But if I do that, essentially, they're going to be using the outdoor shower more than they would be using the indoor shower. Apparently that's just how The Sims works. So that's all I did there. Now, we need to go inside and take a look at these rooms and figure out which room I'm going to work on first. And I believe the first room I'm going to work on is going to be this kitchen. I think it looks horrid. So we need to fix this. So here is the before. Here's the after. Oh my God. Love this kitchen. Tried to keep it like 70s style, but I don't know how well I did. So we've got like a wall island, I suppose, with a giant fork and spoon. We've got groceries on the counter, some candles and bar stools. This third one here doesn't work. They won't be able to sit on it, but it is there. Anyway, so we've got plenty of cabinets now. We've got some hopefully sort of 70s type appliances, the old cookbooks with the cookbook stand, pots and pans, cereal, and other clutter, including a plant in the corner, which I never put plants in my kitchen. It's like a very, very, very rare thing. But the other thing that I did is I added a wall to separate the kitchen because back in the day, rooms were separated. It was a very sectioned out house. So, oh, I thought I was going to put an archway there. Never mind. So anyway, we've got an archway there. We now have a little hallway, which I haven't done yet. and then the archway that leads into the living room. I think I want to do this room next. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to change where the front door is, because right now it's on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this door here and this window here so that the entry is here, because that makes more sense to me to have this formal foyer, I guess, or foyer, and then you walk through that to get to the rest of the house. Now, the one thing that I noticed is you cannot access this bedroom without going through the dining room, which I'm not liking very much. But I don't think I've got much of a choice. I don't want to change where the rooms are. I might change the dimensions of the room, but I don't want to change where the rooms actually are. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this entryway here. This is the before. This is the after. It looks so much better. So I use the Grange mudroom over here on this side. So this little stool or this little cabinet here can also be used to sit on. I don't think they do, but you know, in reality it could be. And then I've cluttered up that shelf over there. We've got a little table over here with some plants and a mirror so you can check yourself before you leave. And then a little place to hang your hat and coats and stuff. I left the tile out of the rug, and there is the front door now. So when you walk in, you see this and not the living room, which makes more sense for a 1970s home. This room here is what used to be the garage, and then this room here is the essentially guest bathroom. So we will, let's work on the bathroom next. So here's the before, and here's the after. Okay, so there's not a lot going on in here, but it is definitely different. A little bit brighter, a little more updated, I guess, than what was there before. A little more livable. So, yeah. Not the best, but good enough. Let's do the living room next. Okay, so this is the before. Here's the after. As I'm doing it, I'm like, none of this really matches. But you know what? Welcome to the 70s. It's the 70s was weird. I think too many people were a little happy on stuff. We'll just put it that way. So not everything matched. But you know what? It works. It's the 70s. You know, it was one of those whatever kind of eras. But we've got the upright piano over here with a picture sitting on top. We've got a little place to sit and read by the window. We've got some really cool sofas, I believe, from Cozy Kitsch. We've got a funky lamp. We've got some macrame up on the wall there. Hanging plants. They had hanging plants everywhere. The record player and another hanging plant, more macrame, another shelf with stuff on it. And yeah, I know it's from Wedding Stories, but whatever, it works. And then we have the big old TV that I know I grew up with. And it stopped working, so they bought a new TV and put it on top. That's it. And there you go. That is the living room. I love this. I think it turned out really cool. Love those curtains. I keep forgetting they have that swatch. Oh, for whatever reason, I always think it's a plain swatches, but they're not. They have this one, and I love it. Oh, and I did lower the living room down by one. So there's that. I'm going to go ahead and do the, I guess, hallway area. So here's the before. Here's the after. It wasn't very much, but it's just a small little passage hallway type thing, but we got the keys on the door or on the wall there, some hanging scrolls there, hanging plant. That takes you into the dining room, and this archway will take you into the other two bedrooms. I got to find out what that thing is right there. Oh, it's a light switch. Okay, I need to get rid of that. So let's work on the dining room next, shall we? So here is the before, and here is the after. Yay! So it's very simple. I didn't add a ton of clutter or anything like that. But we now have a 6-seater table, because what I did is that wall over there, I extended it out. I need to change the light fixture to that one, But I added a trio of plants in the corner. I did this with the curtains because why not? They did weird things back there back then. They used to put fabric on the walls and, you know, quilt it in that way. It was so cool. So that's kind of what made me think about doing the curtains that way. And then I added like some nectar type prints on the wall. And then I have that print there with the two curio hutches on either side in the corners. So I think that looks pretty good. I don't mind it so much. I think it's nice. So now I'm going to work on both of these bedrooms, but that's one bedroom, and then this is the other bedroom. So what I'm thinking of doing is I want to give them a Jack and Jill bathroom, and I'm thinking to put it like somewhere right around here-ish because I don't want them to have to walk from this bedroom down the hallway through the entryway and into the shared bathroom. I think that's a little too much, a little too far, if you ask me. So maybe something like this for a shared Jack and Jill bathroom. Oh, that belonged over there. For a shared Jack and Jill bathroom, it's a little unusual. Yes, I am not going to lie. It is very unusual. However, I think it will work. I just have to figure out how it's going to work. So I'm going to have to move the windows around. I'm going to do both of these bedrooms. So here's your before. Here's the after. I love how these turned out. Oh my goodness. So here is the half bath. We've got the toilet in that little nook. I did change this hallway a little bit so I could fit in a bathtub here or a tub shower combo here. Then the double sinks or the two sinks. Over here is the daughter's room. She's a little older than her two brothers over there on the right. She likes to knit, so she's got a little place that she could sit and knit. She even has two little balls of yarn out on the floor. She's got stuff on the walls. She's got her knitting book there, incense, all of that wonderful stuff. Some cross stitching that she does, her little cart full of supplies, and then some neon signs as well. And as for her brothers, well, they may have got the bigger room, but she gets her own room. So I think it's a fair trade. So we've got their two beds, they're messing the floor. They've got a study desk over here, so they didn't have computers back then. Got some records on the wall. We've got a lava lamp, some more junk, posters all over the place. They have a place to sit and read, and as you can see, they have read none of the books that mom and dad had given them. And then they've got their old little llama stool with some shoes sitting on top because that's the only way they're going to use them. And I did add lamps or ceiling lights to each of their rooms. So I did change that up. Now we have these two rooms here. What I think I'm going to do, this is going to be Grandma and Grandpa's guest room. And this is going to be the activity room. So we'll have chess and maybe the treadmill or something, painting easel, things like that. I think it makes more sense that it's coming off of the dining room, plus it has a door to go out to the backyard. It doesn't make sense that the only way to the backyard, like the only backyard door, is through a bedroom, somebody's bedroom. I think that's wrong. So we'll turn this into Grandma and Grandpa's bedroom with their own ensuite, and then this will be the activity room. So here is the before, and here is the after. Yes, I love this room too. It's so fun. So much to do in this room. So you could do pottery with your own pottery wheel and kiln. We've got painting over here with all the supplies and then some. It seems like painting is the majority rule in this house, but there is a painting tablet down there. We also have a yoga mat, kind of unusual in the middle, but whatever. And then we have the chess table, a collage of prints on the wall that they have painted, a bunch of canvases that have been painted as well. They have yet to decide which room and where they're going to put them or if they're going to sell them. So there's also a microphone and a guitar as well. And there's another print that they really liked, so they put it up there all by itself. And then I also added the mirror just in case it is required for comedy or charisma or whatever. I added some blinds. So this one I know is a little bit low, but that's okay. They'll just walk through it if need be. And then, of course, they have, well, recessed lighting. They didn't have recessed lighting back then, but we're going to pretend like they did on this one. And now we're going to work on Grandma and Grandpa's bedroom. So this is going to be a bedroom and not this. And then there is an ensuite that we're going to work on as well and get it all done in one. So this is the before and this is the after. Yay. So I'm sure y'all are sitting there yelling at me, where's the parents' bedroom? Yeah, I forgot about that part. So this is no longer Grandma and Grandpa's bedroom. This is Mom and Dad's bedroom. Grandma and Grandpa are still at home. They haven't moved in yet. But we've got a dresser with a collage of pictures, including eventual family photos over there. Dresser with some clutter. We've got a bookshelf over there, a place to sit and read their books. As you can tell, they have been doing that. Their bed with some plants, curtains, wall decor, and lamps. Love those curtains because they match near perfectly with those pillows, which is a yay! And of course, an ottoman and a mirror. The bathroom is the same as the other bathroom. No difference, no change there. It's exactly the same. Looking from the top down, this looks like a much, much better house to live in. Lots more stuff to do, all kinds of activities and skill items. Yes, sir, Bob. This is awesome. I love this house. I love this renovation. Now I'm going to do a walkthrough for you. Yes, so you can see it all in its absolute fantabulous glory. So as you walk in, you have your entryway, as you saw before. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely love it. If we go off to the left, we have the sunken living room. Gorgeous as ever. This is probably one of my favorite rooms because it's so like doesn't make sense. I love that. So we step back up into the little hallway. We have the kitchen. Okay, I take it back. I think I like the kitchen better. I don't know. I like all of these rooms. And then we go through the tiny archway and we have the boys' room over here. I did add a basketball, by the way, because I figured I needed to add something. And then through here is the girls' bedroom. Pretty pretty, I say so. And then their Jack and Jill bathroom, which is shared, nice and bright, all the necessities required to have a nice bathroom experience. We go through the large archway here, and this is the dining room with all the necessities and then some. And then the activity and skill room, which is fantabulous. We'll go back out here, go to the front, and on the left we have the shared bathroom. And on the right, we have mom and dad's bedroom, which you just saw. And they have their own private bathroom as well. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong keys. Then we go back through here into the activity skill room. We go through this back door, and you have the backyard with a gorgeous pool. These people love to entertain. I mean, in the 70s, everybody entertained, so it wasn't a big deal to have a entertaining home. And I think that's what this is. Very entertaining, very fun, very lovable. And that is the full build, y'all. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some inspiration somewhere. As always, feel free to leave any and all comments, questions, and suggestions down below. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, y'all, have fun.